starting a business or you're already in one, it is great that you're thinking about forming an LLC. They're also called limited liability companies. And what they do is protect your personal assets from creditors, angry people who get injured, that sort of thing. Say you put a service or a product or you have debt or something like that, you owe money, trying to wrap it all in the LLC. The policy behind it is we want people to create and build and innovate, but not risk their entire lives on it. Whatever's in that LLC is being risked. Beyond that, there is this corporate shield, this liability shield. So it's great that you're thinking about it. Let's talk about some of the best, easiest ways to form an LLC. First, you can do it on your own. What you do is you go to the Secretary of State in the state where you're located, is the simplest way. You can check our other videos about whether you should use a different state or your home state. But you go to the Secretary of State and then you figure it out from there. There's always some sort of process, sometimes setting up an account. Sometimes you can do it without the account. They'll ask you a handful of questions, that sort of thing. Second option is getting a lawyer to do it. That's probably more of like a $2,500 kind of event because the lawyer's gonna wanna make sure that the operating agreement, which is the governing document, is done correctly, and that, you know, once a lawyer involves herself or himself, you have to make sure that it's done at an A+ level. So there's not really a ton of shortcuts there. The other option is using an online service. You know, we recommend that for people who are on a budget, who wanna make sure they get the liability protection, make sure it gets done. Drafted Legal, our company files it within 7 days, but there's others out there that you can Google around. They'll do a good job as well because you're trying to just make sure you get that LLC. So we would typically recommend probably 2 or 3. If you've done it before, you can definitely do it. I like the idea of hiring someone else to do it because if it's not right, you have someone to look to. You say, oh, this wasn't done right. If you did it yourself, well, if you don't have the protection or something went wrong, you're blaming yourself. And there's no one to look to for recourse, you know, if the liability shield isn't working or the filing didn't go through. Sometimes you think it went through because they're all, you know, like automated a little bit. You think it went through, but maybe it didn't. You use a company, you know, online company even, you can say, well, I paid y'all to do this. You know, you gotta do it right. And definitely with a lawyer is gonna, you know, absolutely make sure. Those are the easiest ways. You know, if you're on a budget, probably lean towards something like a drafted legal. If you've got the money, use the lawyer, and the bonus there is that you can then start that relationship. So when something comes up, you know, you got something like, I don't know I don't know how to handle this employee or this vendor. You have someone to call and it's not totally out of the blue. So, you know, if you've got the money, we certainly recommend starting that relationship. If not, try something online. I hope that helps. Go to draftedlegal.com. Tons of free resources. You can also get LLCs and templates that are drafted by attorneys for specific industries. It's really important. Hope that helps.